Okay. This is actually not in chapter 2, although it is inequalities. It's technically in your book, chapter 5.6. This is the only section we're going to do in chapter 5. You're actually going to, when you do chapter 5 again, after the break, you'll go over this again. But we want to go over it just to conclude this chapter. What we are doing is, this is graphing. Obviously graphing. Linear inequalities. With two variables, or in two variables. Okay, so we already know all the tools we need for this. We just got to put it together. Okay, we already know this, right? Y equals mx plus b. That's all you really need. So let's look at the first one and see if we can just graph the line. Just see if you can remember how to graph the line. Okay. What's my b? Is it negative 1? Well, in this case, what's my m? Also negative 1. So even if you got it confused, you'd get it right, huh? But I like to do that, right? Okay. So where do I put the point? Is it here or here? Is it there or there? This one?
Yeah.
Or this one?
No. That one.
Remember, it's your y-intercept. Okay, remember it's your y-intercept, so I'm going to put my point there. Mine's not exactly centered. Okay, what does this mean? The negative means to go down. And what is the... So I'm going to go down and right. So there's one point. I could also do, instead of down and right, I could also do what? Up and... So up 1, left 1. Okay, that looks like I can draw a line. I'm just going to draw a line just like normal. And then we're going to figure out what's different. I'm not so sure my line's going to be very straight. There it is. And I'm going to go ahead and draw it as far as possible because it's going to make my next step easier. Okay, that covers the line. That covers the equal to part. What do we think is less than this line? Well, the nice thing is I have two sides, right? Just like when we did our number line graphs, we have two sides. But this is a little more complicated. And so basically what I like to look at is we know that this symbol and this symbol that we learned yesterday, you can't see it, are what? It's less than, which means that you can contain that in a container, right? So this is going to be the inside. Okay, and what I like to do for this is I say inside the house. This and this symbol are going to be outside the house. And this is what I mean by the house. Okay, I blend those together. I like to look at this like a roof, right? A lot of houses have an angled roof like this, where the rain comes down and then the roof keeps you dry in theory, right? So this is a less than symbol. Which would be the dry side? Which would be the inside the house side? Okay, this would be outside, this would be inside. So what this means is actually all of this we color, and this is a solution to the problem. That means that any point that I pick here would work. For example, I'm going to pick this point right here. This point is negative 3, negative 2. Let's see if it works. I'm going to substitute it in right there. Negative 2 is less than or equal to negative 3 minus 1. So that's negative 2, less than or equal to, what would negative 3 be? Plus 3? So negative 2 is less than or equal to 2. Is that true? Is negative 2 less than 2? Okay, so that means the reason why I color is every single point in this area, in the shaded area, would make this a true statement. Okay, and again, I look at the less than symbol and I think about I can contain less than. I think it's inside the house. It's going to be the dry side of the roof. Okay? I don't like to do left and right because some people get confused with up and down because it's not really a left and right. It's kind of both. Some people can just look at it and see it, and some people really need a trick. Okay, so let's do this one, and I'll give you a hint. All right, and this is going to be a problem. Because this wasn't a problem because equal than, this is how we do an equal to line, right? How should I do a greater than with no equal than? Because like this would have been what? This would have been a circle that we fill in. This would be a circle that we don't fill in. How would I do a circle that we don't fill in? Okay, you might not know. We're going to do a dotted line. And then we're going to write this in our notes so we at least have all this charted. So try to graph this, but graph it with a dotted line instead. And then we're gonna write down all this stuff again in our notes because this is kind of our discovery exercise page. I like a 0 because that means you start right here, right? M is negative 5/4, so this is what, down and right? Are we remembering this from, when was the last time we graphed? Do you remember? Well, I don't expect you to remember the day. I was thinking month or year. 2021, right? Maybe, probably October, maybe a little bit November, probably October is when we finish that. Okay, down 5, right 4. We can also do the opposite, up. Okay, we should make a straight line, and I do encourage you to go all the way so we have two sides. It helps with figuring out where to do it. Okay, this one is greater than. Oh, I messed up already. What did I do wrong? Messed up already. It's not a dotted line because I got so excited. Got so excited. Okay. All right. So excited about doing the graphs that I messed up. Unfortunately, I'm doing this in pen so you can see it better, and I can't erase it if I did it with pencil like I'm supposed to. Okay, that's much, much better. Okay, and so you just do a little dotted line, and that means, like I said before, that's that open circle. That means anything on the line is not included. But the shaded area is going to be included. And what I said before, this is greater than. This is too big to be contained. This is going to be overflowing. So if you're greater than the house, that means you can't be inside. Where's the outside of the house going to be? Where's if the rain comes down, where's the wet side of the house? Is it going to be here? Okay. And we're focused on just the negatives on this particular page because I want you to be able to compare the two. Go ahead and do 3 and 4 and try to get those done by yourself. And then we are going to look at those. And then there's a couple ones I'm going to help on your homework, but that's okay. Let's get those done. Then we're going to put everything we need to know in our notes, and then we'll do our work. And make sure this is good practice of graphing correctly, I hope. Let me move this. Make sure you begin on B and move on M. Again, we're doing all negative slopes right now. This one I can't go down, can I? Like this, still negative slope though, right? This one's dotted, yeah? Make sure you remember those are easy things to forget, especially when you get in a hurry or you're preoccupied by something else. Okay. I'm not going to do the shading yet. I'm just going to do the graphing to make sure we have our graphs right, because if you mess up your graph, the shading's not going to be right either, is it? Unfortunately. Okay. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. This is solid, right? And again, I like to go all the way to the edge of my graph to create two different sides so you can see. These are pretty steep. These are easy maybe to do a left and a right. Okay? Because sometimes they look like a left and a right. When they're really flat, it's hard to see which is left and which is right. All right, let's take a vote. Who votes that I color right here? Who votes I color right here? Okay, I'll go with you. Am I right? This one's a little bit tougher, but if I were going to draw a house, it would look like this, right? That's a house, right? That's, there's a door. Let's do a window here, right? It's not a very big house, and you only have one window, so it's kind of a sad house, but that would be a house, right? So that sometimes helps people think, especially when it's a really steep roof. Okay, I can't erase it all the way. It's okay. That's forever there. All right, let's see on this one. Who votes we color here? Who votes we color here? Okay, greater than means bigger than the house. Again, if we drew our house, this would be like our house. We'll make this one bigger with 2 windows. So where would I color? If you're bigger than the house, you got to color outside. Okay. This takes a second to get the hang of. That's why we're going to review it again tomorrow. But really, the only new thing I'm adding is what? The shading and the dotted solid lines. So let's make sure we get that in our notes so we can get this all down in our notes. So we have it, so we know that for sure. So I like to summarize the chapter a little bit here. And so we're going to go with this symbol. This symbol is either going to be a... You can't see it. That's a terrible situation. Thank you. All right, this symbol and this symbol. Well, now I just messed it up. So let's just move it there. This symbol and this symbol are going to be a dotted line. Or, we're all over the place, aren't we? This symbol is going to be a dotted line, or it's going to be a circle, right? This symbol and this symbol is going to be a solid line, or it's going to be a filled in circle, right? This means included, this means not included. Whatever's on the dotted line, whatever's the circle is not included. Only to the shaded side or the unshaded side. Okay? And so again, if you don't have it written down, I want you to know that this symbol and this symbol, they mean inside or inside the house. Okay? And when we do our and or graphs, we think about inside because the and graphs are going to be what? They're inside, right? This symbol and this symbol are going to be outside or on the roof. Okay, again, this is just kind of a trick to help you see it. Some people can just look at it and see which numbers are going to be bigger and which numbers are going to be smaller. Okay? If this were a number line, it's easier to see. Some people can't. So we will work with those different tricks. I'll kind of help you with some different things tomorrow. And then that's it. Okay? I'm going to pass out your work. And we're getting it.